Hi, I'm Jima Bani at jimabani.com, and today I want to demonstrate a 12 by 18 inch quilted pillow with an embroidered center. The project PDF comes with a printable pattern, and the designs come in either a design for a large hoop or a design for two 5 by 7. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is print out the PDF, which is going to give you the pattern and the instructions. Some of the pieces of pattern has to be taped together. So you have to take them together to make the piece that you want. And you would just cut it on the dotted line and put them together and tape them to make each pattern piece. So once you get your pattern all put together, you want to decide what design you're going to use. So to start out, we're going to do the sister design. And I have got it started. And you want to choose 3 different colors. A color for the center, which this is just a white on white, and then a color for the long pieces, a color for the square, and that same color will go for the back. In this case, I did 2 shades of turquoise. To start the design, you'll want to cut out your foundation pattern piece and set it up for the embroidery. Okay, so now I've cut out the piece that we're going to embroidery, and this time we're going to set up with 2 hoops using a 5 by 7. So see, I've got it cut out. What you want to do is make little holes right here at the cross, and that's going to be the center for each one of your hoops. Once you've got the hole made with a fabric pen, and I use the Mark Be Gone, make a little dot in each one of those. Now I need to tell you about this fabric pen. You want to make sure that you get it out before you press your design, because it can stain. Okay, so we've got the center marked. Okay, now with marker, you're going to set up the lines to center each one of these designs in your hoop. So do the line across, and then make sure you're absolutely straight up and down. Mark your lines to put on that, the cross side or the short side of your hoop. So as you can see, this was set up exactly in the center of the hoop. I went to the machine. I made sure my needle went right down in that cross for the center. And I set up first sister, which is the first design for sister. Once that's done, I'll take it out of the hoop and I will re-hoop it for this side. Okay, so now I will go back to the machine. I will set my needle right in the center there. I will put my tearaway on the back so the stabilizer is good. And I will do second sister for this one. Okay, so because of time constraints, this is one that I have done with 2 hoopings. It says love, but this was first love, this was second love. I did them in both the hoops, took them off, and now I need to make sure that this line is gone. And to do that, all you have to do is just put a little water on it and it goes away. But make sure you do this before you press it. Once you get the lines all off, take off your tearaway, put it down on your terry cloth and press it down. You want to press on a terry cloth so you don't mash your design. Okay, and you can see these are the colors that I will use with the love embroidery design. So now we've got a nice heavy terry cloth. We'll put it design side down because we don't want to mash the design, and we'll go ahead and press it. Okay, so now I've had to make this pattern, so again I've cut it on the dotted lines, put them together, and here's where the center of the embroidery goes. But see how difficult it is to figure out where the center is? So what I do is take a piece of wax paper or a piece of vellum or a piece of tissue, something that's see-through. I actually make a duplicate, put my center in, and now I can put it over my design, make sure it's straight on the letters, make sure I've got about the same distance from the top to the bottom, get it nice and centered, and I'll use this to cut out my design. So here I am with a design all cut out. In this case now, it is the home design, ready to make my actual top of my pillow. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the pieces that frame the design, or the word, in this case home. So I have cut 2 of these. Remember, I made that one. So here's the 2 I cut for there. Cut 2 side pieces, so there's the 2 that I cut for there. And then 4 squares. So here's the 4 squares, and they're ready to be put together. So now I've got the next pillow is Hope, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So first I'll put the long pieces on, and I will stitch 1/4 inch. And then I'll put the squares on the short piece, and again stitch 1/4 inch on each one of them. Okay, so now I've got all the 1/4 inches done. We will press it this way to set your stitches, and then we'll go ahead and press it out, both of them, and we want to press them towards the dark side. So we'll press this one out towards the dark side, and also this one. Okay, and now we will just put these end ones onto the word. Make sure that these seams match, like that. And we're going to go back and do another 1/4 inch seam. Okay, so now we're going to do these ends. So again, just set your stitches on both sides, and then okay, so there's your pillow top. Now we need to get it set up to quilt it. So first, use your foundation piece and cut a piece of, fine muslin or something that's not very heavy. It's going to be your quilt back. And then next, cut a piece of fleece. This is going to be what you're going to use in between your backing and your pillow top to give it a little bit of puffiness. Once you get both the backing cut and the fleece cut, you'll put it together this way. First you'll put the backing down, then you'll put the fleece on top of it, and then right side up you'll put your pillow top. And now you're going to pin them with safety pins really well so that you can machine quilt. And here's one that's all pinned pretty securely. And now you can take it to the machine and quilt it. And there's several things you could do. You could use a fancy stitch to go over every seam. In this case, I'm just going to do a straight stitch on either side of the seam, all the way around. Okay, so here we are with the top quilted, and you can see, or hopefully, that I've just quilted right along on either side of the seam. Now we'll just remove the pins. Okay, so you can see I just put a little couple of pins in each corner. Make sure they're not going to be in your seam line, and then just trim off anything that's on the outside of your pillow top. Okay, so next we're going to use the back of the pillow. We're going to put them together, and we're going to cut two of the backing. Notice where it tells you to place the zipper. Okay, to begin putting your zipper in, have the one half of the back right side up and your zipper right side down. Put it in, and we'll just put it right against the seam. Okay, so go ahead and pin your zipper in. Notice that my zipper isn't quite long enough. This was only a 16-inch zipper, but it's what I had. An 18-inch would be better. But it's when it goes to this end, but this end where it's going to zip in, I left that inch or so. Now you want to put a zipper foot on your machine and go in and sew right against the zipper. So here it is, sewn right against the zipper. Now I want you to turn it to the right side, and you're going to pin that. So we'll just pin that down. Okay, once you get it pinned, we'll take it to the sewing machine, and we're going to edge stitch it right on the edge of the fabric. Okay, so there's that edge stitching right there. And now we've got the right side up, and we're going to take the other half of the back, and we're going to pin it even and right against the zipper. Okay, so once we get it all pinned, what we're going to do is go back to the sewing machine and stitch with your zipper foot right against the zipper again on this side. So now we've got that zipper in. Now what we're going to do is make the placket for the zipper. And the easy way to do that without a whole bunch of measuring and stuff is to use your foundation pattern. On the side where you edge stitched, what you want to do is match the corners and pin them, and then smooth up and just pin right there. Okay, now to make the placket, we'll just pull this down so it's even with the other side of the pattern, and we're going to pin it again. Match the corners, pin the corners, smooth up, make your little placket here. Okay, now what you want to do is to pin through the fabric, but not the paper pattern. Just pin through the fabric right at that crease, but don't grab the paper pattern. At this point, we can take the pin out that we used to make sure it was where it was supposed to be. Now we've got it all nice and pinned there at the crease where the placket is. Unpin it from the paper pattern. Turn it over. And on the opposite side from where your pins show, you're going to pin the zipper. So now we'll pin this zipper down. And this is where you're going to stitch on this side to make your placket. So we're just going to pin it here all the way along. And I'll take it back to the sewing machine. And again, with your zipper foot, you're going to sew right against that zipper. Easy way to make a placket using a pattern piece. Okay, so just turn it over, remove the pins. There's your placket all set. And you want to leave your zipper unzipped a little bit when you go to put it together, so you can turn it right side out. It's a mistake I made a time or two. So I'm just going to pin this here in this corner so it doesn't flop loose. Now, I'm going to put the pillow top right side up and the pillow back right side down on top of it. I'm going to match all the corners and I'm going to pin it. So I want to make sure I get everything as I pin it. I want to get the backing and everything. So let's go ahead and just pin it. Okay. So on this page, which is the last page of your patterns, is a little triangle. So you want to cut that little triangle out. And we're going to put it on each one of these corners, right on the corner, and we're going to draw across it. And this is going to square off the corner just a little bit so you get a better point on your corners. So see, you're going to sew down your 1/4 of an inch, you're going to turn, you're going to sew, and then your other 1/4 of an inch. Do this. Okay, so I've got each one of these corners marked. I'm going to go back to the sewing machine. Make sure you're unzipped a little bit. I'm going to sew around a 1/4 of an inch at my regular seam, and then on the outside I'm going to zigzag it so that things don't fray away. Okay, so I've done my seam and I've zigzagged it. So that will help the life of the pillow. Now we can just turn it. And here's those little pins that I had holding the edge. Remember, you had to leave it open, the zipper open a little bit, because you're turning it through the zipper, so you can see why you needed to have it open. If it had been closed, it would have been hard to figure out how to turn it. And there is your quilted pillow. Now we just need to fill it with a pillow form that we've actually made ourselves. And we have a freebie explaining how to make your own pillow forms that will come with your PDF for this pillow. To do this, you'll use a heavy-duty batting. You'll use your foundation pattern and stuffing to stuff it. And that will be attached to your pillow when you order PDF how to make pillow form. That way you can make any size pillow form. You could even make a heart or a circle or whatever. All filled. You want to clean up the little extras. Now we have other pillows on our site. There's an 18-inch pillow that has several areas to embroider. And there's also a 16-inch pillow that has at the center you can embroider. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and remember, you can find all our projects and designs at gmabani.com. So happy sewing!